introduction to Prantik. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vikas, and also Ankita for inviting me. Hello, everyone. Great to be on this session together. So I'm of course also a proud member of TiE. I've been a charter member of TiE Singapore exactly for a year actually this week. So always great to meet fellow members of TiE and even members who are not a part of TiE. So thank you so much for the opportunity and the wonderful introduction. What I've planned is over the next 40-45 minutes, I'm just going to take you through some fundamentals of digital marketing. So I've been running a digital marketing consulting firm out of Singapore. We have 3 delivery offices in India, in Mumbai, Kolkata, and Bangalore. Bulk of our business is in Singapore and Southeast Asia. And I think what I want to do is, essentially focus on 2 elements. One is the core digital fundamentals as to what is the objective of digital, what is digital all about and what it isn't, right? So it's very important to get clarity on what it is and what it isn't, and what are some fundamental principles to bear in mind. And the second half will be about a specific philosophy that has genuinely helped us and our clients. And it probably is a bit counterintuitive to what you might have heard about digital marketing in general. And this is called the data content loop, and I'll be talking about that. So without further delay, I'm just going to quickly, so Vikas or Ankita, I just need your help to allow me to share my screen with their ads and messages. You probably get SMSs, you get emails. So they are everywhere in digital, right? And so they are one bucket of companies which are obviously, they're doing great. Of course, of late they've come under criticism because most of these companies that you see on the left are investees of Chinese investors. So of late, of course, in the current environment, many of them have come under some scrutiny. But these are some fantastic companies. They've made India proud in the last decade, where all of these today are classified as what's called unicorns, meaning companies who have valuations more than $1 billion, right? Flipkart, of course, is a massive success story. But I think it's, sometimes we get too enamored by companies like these new age digital first companies. And we tend to forget the companies on the right, right? Any guesses what's common about the companies on the right? Feel free to either voice out, or I guess maybe putting it on the chat might be easier. Just look at the companies and the logos on the right. Any common patterns that you see compared to the left? So in the interest of time,
service versus product.
Service versus product. That's a good distinction. They're all Indian. Yes, of course. No funding from outside. That's a very good one. Correct. So these are some great points that you guys are making, that these are companies that have not taken funding from outside, right? The companies on the left, they've all taken funding, whether from India, US, China, but they're all taken funding to start. They are, compared to the companies on the right, these companies have been there for maybe decades. Some have been there for maybe 70, 80 years. Many of them are family-owned businesses. In fact, so they are services, they have not raised funding.
You are on mute.
Yes, I think by mistake, the host might have muted me. No worries. So yes, like I was saying, from all the chat messages, thank you for sharing. You guys are absolutely right. The companies on the right side of the slide are Indian companies. Many of them have existed for 30, 40 years. They've not raised private funding. Most importantly, many of them are family-owned businesses and they are all profitable. Unlike the businesses on the left, most of them, if not all, are not profitable at all. But the ones on the right are profitable. In fact, these 11 that I've chosen, they're amongst the most profitable for investors in the public market. So in terms of dividends, in terms of capital growth, these 10, 11 companies, which have obviously made India very proud and successful over the last 5, 6 decades, they actually make profit and they are very investor friendly. Now, why am I sharing this? This is very important because, when I meet my clients and when they come for digital marketing guidance, everyone wants to be a Flipkart. Everyone wants to be a Paytm or a Zomato or a Oyo. Very few come and tell me कि यार मुझे Hero या Godrej की तरह बनना है, right? And that is because these are new, they are sexy, there is massive scale and growth. They get a lot of PR, but very few people tell you that their history is very different. They don't tell you that they are not profitable, right? So you only hear the surface level good news, but you don't hear about their bottom lines anyway, which are not profitable in general. So it's important, if most of our businesses do come from, all the audiences here, if you relate more to the businesses on the right hand side, which are, traditional businesses, manufacturing, services, automotive, real hardcore businesses of the economy, and your business is profitable, first thing first is acknowledge which side of the camp you are in. I'm not saying one is good or bad. All I'm saying is acknowledge reality कि भाई हम इस category में पढ़ते हैं, and this is our way of growing. Because if you want to pursue the ideas and the techniques of the companies on the left, you have to operate in a very different model. You have to raise billions of dollars of capital from venture capital. You have to raise money from banks. But if you're on the right, you are probably way more sustainable. You have to be profitable. You don't have the luxury of spending millions of dollars on marketing and digital ads and Facebook ads and so on. So that is the first thing to bear in mind, that we like to obviously want to become like the new shiny object, like the startups on the left, but that doesn't have to be the case. The companies on the right are equally, if not more successful. So once you identify, then you need to decide what is the right digital marketing path. So point being, don't just have the blind desire to follow a Flipkart or a Dream11 or a Oyo just because you see them everywhere and you see them in the news, right? Sometimes the actual news is hidden. So that's, I think, very, very critical, so that we are all very realistic and we are measured in the way we do things. Now let me dive into the fundamentals of marketing and digital, right? Because of course there's been in India in the last 10-15 years, India has been a very strong force when it comes to digital marketing. I started last 20 years I've been in Singapore, but I started my digital marketing career with an Indian company called Pinstorm, which has offices in Mumbai and Delhi. That's where I first learned I kind of rolled up my sleeves and learned the art of digital marketing from India. And India, compared to even Singapore, for a long time has been very advanced when it comes to digital marketing techniques. But I must mention that the way we have defined digital marketing, I think, is very myopic or very narrow. Today, whenever I ask a business owner or a marketing manager, what are you doing in digital? The typical answer is, yeah, I'm posting content on Facebook, Instagram, I'm doing some ads, I'm doing some YouTube ads, and that's it. Now, today's session, if there is one thing to take away, is digital marketing is not about advertising alone. There is a difference in the meanings of the word marketing and advertising. We tend to use this interchangeably. What is your role? Oh, I do marketing, advertising. I do marcoms. These are all very, very different words. They mean very different things. Advertising is one small part, but a very critical part of marketing. But advertising alone cannot help your business grow. There are other tricks, other better things that you can do. And hopefully that is something we'll learn in today's session. So remember, figure out which camp do you sit in. Are you a traditional, profitable, sustainable business, or are you looking for quick growth for which you need to raise venture capital from very large investors? Because your path to marketing will depend accordingly. Number two, once you have decided that, remember, advertising is just one small part of marketing. Marketing is not equal to advertising, right? Please do bear that in mind. Now let me take you through the fundamentals of marketing, which honestly have remained true whether it was from the era of TV or print or in the era of Google or Facebook, right? So let's kind of quickly look at what is the objective of marketing, right? And I will try and simplify this for you in very simple English or Hindi terms. So hopefully all of you can understand and appreciate this. And of course, feel free to ask your questions on chat. I will be seeing those and I can kind of address that. So marketing has three key objectives in a business in very simple terms, right? So whether you're selling, for example, if you're selling software or if you're selling tractors or if you're selling masale, doesn't matter. First things first is you need to know what is called TAM. What is your total addressable market? So if you're selling, let's say, tractors in India, if Mahindra is selling tractors in India, they firstly will do some analysis that what is the market potential in India for tractors. So let's say they do some research and they realize that the market, the buying capacity or demand for tractors in India, let's say, is $1 billion, example. But then that is the overall market. You need to know what is your total addressable market, because every business does not exist in vacuum. There are competitors. So we need to know, okay, who are the existing competitors? Who are some future competitors? And what are their market shares? And what is my likely open market space that I can address? So chances are Mahindra might feel that, okay, you know what? I think market may 10% space hai. So out of the 1 billion, I think I can, in the next 3-4 years, I can address $100 million ki market. So that is my total addressable market. So you're not looking at the overall set, but you're looking at the subset that you can address. And then where does marketing come in? Marketing has only 3 fundamental roles. Whether you're doing TV, print, brochure, you're doing on the road, speaking on the road, shouting, or whether you're doing Facebook, Google, Falana, the objective is the same. Am I creating demand for my product and service? That means, am I creating awareness? But awareness alone is not important, not enough. You need to be able to inspire and influence people, right? It is not good enough to tell the Indian market that Mahindra has a new tractor. But they will have to think interesting and clever ways to talk about, why is that new tractor important? How is it different? Why will the farmers benefit from it? So when you try and inspire and influence people, that's when you try and kind of cultivate some demand. So creating demand generation is the first objective. The next is, so for the longest time, whether in India or globally, marketing's objective was only this, कि boss TV में ad डाल दो, लोग automatically आके मेरे साबुन और tractor खरीदेंगे. But that world does not exist anymore, because if you're just leaving it to, putting an ad on TV or print or Dainik Jagran, and that's it, if that's all you're doing, then you're leaving the sales outcomes to hope, and hope is never a good strategy, right? So in the olden days, there was no choice कि मैंने TV और paper और radio में साबुन का निर्मा या सर्फ का ad लगा दिया. उसके आगे I didn't have much to do. I didn't have much choice. उसके आगे I would hope कि people will remember जब साबुन चाहिए होगा, they'll come and buy निर्मा and सर्फ. But in today's world, beyond step number 1, you can also do what is called capture demand. कि मतलब अगर people see the Mahindra ad, normally इंसान क्या करता है आजकल के ज़माने में? They'll go and do some Google search. अपना research करेंगे कि is this a good product? What are people saying about it? They might ask friends. And उसके बाद they might come to your website कि यार देखते हैं product कैसा है, क्या features हैं, क्या pricing है, distributors कौन है, so on so forth. So when they come to your website or when they come to your physical shop to find out more, it is important to capture that demand. उसका मतलब to kind of either on your website or in your physical shop to have some tools or mechanism to get to know your customer. कि अच्छा, looks like Mr. Vikas Shukla is interested. He is interested in this tractor. Maybe he is keen to buy a tractor in 6 months. Currently, he has a tractor from this company. His budget is so much. So you are capturing demand. Of course, ideal दुनिया में बढ़िया होगा if Vikas Shukla ji sees the ad, he is inspired and influenced, and he comes and immediately buys. But that will be a very small population who will come and buy immediately. Most will want to find out more. So when they want to find out more, whether from your shop, go down, distributorship, or your website, the digital shop, you need to have some mechanisms to collect information. That is very important. And then when eventually the sale happens, you can't stop there. Marketing has to go one step forward. You have to retain demand. Because when someone buys a tractor, chances are उनको spare parts चाहिए होंगे आगे जाके. They might need some repairing, some painting, or maybe they want to renew and buy another tractor down the road. Or if you're a big company, maybe along with tractors, you're selling some other things as well, right? So how do you keep a customer happy and engaged so that you can keep selling to him? Because the whole goal of any business, right, whether masale to tractor to software, is to keep recurring revenue, recurring business, right? So hopefully you will remember from this chart that we need to know what is our addressable market, but uske baad the fundamental is very clear. We have to be able to use marketing to create demand, capture demand, and then nurture and retain demand. That's what's important. And again, I'll be circulating the slides later, so I won't go into detail. There is a lot of techniques and fundas around, this is an art and science, demand creation, demand capture, right? So when you're creating demand, you're also building the brand. You want to create awareness. You want your brand to remain top of mind, right? Taki, as and when people are ready, people go and remember and buy your brand. So for example, when let's say your children or someone in your family wants to buy shoes, chances are if you ask them, "Acha beta, which sports shoe you want to buy?" Chances are उनके दिमाग में 4 या 5 ही नाम आएंगे usually. Nike, Adidas, Puma, A6, because our brain can't capture more than 5 or 6. Brain can't remember. So this brand building is a very critical part, and digital can help you. And same way, once the brand is built and your top of mind recall is there, when they come to your website to find more, remember, you need to capture the demand. Because, it's like this. आपकी दुकान में अगर कोई आता है, chances are out of 10 people, maybe 1 or 2 will buy and go away. And if they buy, you capture their details, either credit card number, name, all of that. But the 8 people who don't buy or who go away, if you don't capture their information, they are forever lost. You can never reach them again. And that can be a big loss. So when I was showing you those modern companies and the traditional companies, there is lots to be learned from the modern companies in terms of their marketing techniques. So they are great. So when you go to a Zomato, आपने कुछ देखा, review पढ़ा, but let's say you didn't want to reserve or buy any food, for example, and you're about to close the website, you might have experienced that a pop-up comes up and says, why don't you fill up this form? We'll send you a 10% coupon. What are they doing? They are capturing demand. They're capturing your details, ताकि they can follow up with you. So these new age companies, whilst as traditional businesses, we may not become like them, but we can learn a lot from them. So that's very important. So remember, the core is demand creation and demand capturing, right? Now in the digital era, I'll talk about 5 key principles to bear in mind, right? So this is a little bit of theory, but hopefully this will help you as you think about digital. Because the reason I'm sharing this context is, hopefully after today's session, if you want to do digital marketing in your business, the last thing that you should go and tell your marketing manager or your business partners here, कि चलो Google, Facebook में ads करते हैं. Because remember, digital में कुछ start करना, Google, Facebook ad करना is the easiest. But एक बार वो आपको उसकी लत लग गई, you cannot come out of it. And unless you do it properly, trust me, you can spend billions of dollars on it and results will not come, right? So it's very important to do it in the right step and know what are the options available and why are you doing, what are you doing. So hopefully by now we know the 3 major outcomes of marketing. Now 5 key principles here of the digital world is, number 1, please lead or be led by consumer insight and behavior and not technology. This is a very common mistake all of us do. क्योंकि digital में हर दिन कुछ नया आ रहा है. एक साल पहले TikTok आया, पूरा India went towards TikTok. अब TikTok ban हो गया, people are going towards चिंगारी. अब कल को चिंगारी नहीं चलेगा तो people want something else, right? So we always like to go behind the new shiny tool, but that is a mistake because technology आती जाती रहेगी. To be honest, it doesn't matter. आपको नहीं आपका ट्रैक्टर और मसाले और सॉफ्टवेयर आपको टेक्नोलॉजी को नहीं बेचना है, आपको इंसान को बेचना है. So it's very important to firstly know आपकी ऑडियंस कौन है, आपकी कस्टमर बेस कौन है. Are they younger people, older people? Are they living in villages? Are they living in cities? If they are living in towns and villages, what kind of mobile devices? So to understand the customer and the customer's behavior, that is critical. So don't chase technology, but spend a lot of time and effort in understanding who is your customer, उनकी ज़रूरतें क्या हैं, उनकी behaviors क्या हैं. Number 2, it is very important to know that you cannot do everything. So कुछ चीजें you can do on your own because that is your strength. So if you're manufacturing tractors, that's your core strength. But if you are not into digital or digital marketing or not into, let's say, brand partnerships, you need to find experts. Now you can hire the experts in-house or you can find consulting or agency partners who can help you execute. But it's very important to know कि आप खुद क्या कर सकते हैं, कहाँ पे आपको help की ज़रूरत है. That's very important. Number 3 principle, which is very most important, I think, in this is what is called perpetual beta. अब इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि there is nothing called perfect in the digital world. हर चीज constantly update होती है. What is the best example? All the apps on your mobile device. ये जब apps आप download करते हो, these companies don't sell you the perfect app. You're downloading a beta version, जो कि हर महीने अपने आप update होता है या आप update करते हो. So same way, it is very important कि आप अगर digital era में business कर रहे हो, the mindset has shifted. 20-30 साल पहले it was कि let's make the perfect product, तब जाके बेचेंगे. But in today's world, if you try to do that, you will be very slow in the game, very late in the game. So it's important to get to a 70-80%. उसके बाद release it to the market, to a small audience, pilot करिए, test करिए, get feedback. But it's a loop. Constantly you have to evolve. So the words you might hear in marketing is perpetual beta or constant optimization. पुराने दिनों में क्या था, मार्केटिंग में आपने कोई टीवी या प्रिंट न्यूज़पेपर में आपने ऐड डाल दिया, that's it, you cannot do anything. But in today's world, the way it works is you put an ad on Facebook or Google, or you share a piece of content on some website, you can keep modifying and optimizing. So it's very important to bear in mind, because perfection versus pace, dono zaruri hai, right? Perfection is anyway hard to achieve in most things in life. So get to a decent position and then keep iterating, keep optimizing. Number 4, many of you might have heard this buzzword called data is the new oil. इसका मतलब यही हुआ है कि it is so critical कि आप अगर digital marketing कर रहे हो, it is important to collect as much data with user permission as possible. तो आपको अगर कोई event कर रहे हो या road show कर रहे हो, and there are people who have come to visit you or watch your event, it's important that you collect their name, email ID, mobile number उनके permission के साथ, so that you can follow up. You can send them more information. Because without that data, like I told you, it is the window shopping phenomenon. आपके इवेंट में लोग आए, आपके दुकान में लोग आए, आपके प्रोडक्ट्स को टच फील किया और चले गए, और आपको पता ही नहीं कि कौन आया, क्यों आया था, why did he leave, why did she not buy. So it is very important. The magic of digital is data. कि डेटा के बिना आप अच्छी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग नहीं कर सकते हो. So it's very, very important. And the last principle is consistency. So, and this is the most important thing I'll say कि digital is not some magic wand कि digital आपने कर लिया और दुनिया बदल गई. It's a long process. Like I said, digital start करना बहुत आसान है, but to sustain it, do it well, it takes a lot of effort, and I also dare say a lot of money if it's not done well. And in India's case especially, offline is still very important, depending आप कौन से market को serve कर रहे हो. So I will not say कि सिर्फ digital करिएगा and TV, radio, print में दम नहीं है. TV, radio, print in India has a lot of value. So India में generally, आज के India में typically a company, especially if you are a traditional business like those businesses on the right hand side, typically आपके पास अगर 100 रुपए हो marketing के, typically about 40-50 rupees goes into digital. The rest 50 still goes into print, radio, TV, events, all of that, right? So it is very important to be realistic. You have to समय के साथ चलना पड़ेगा कि it's not कि digital is absolutely a foolproof mechanism, right? It takes time, hence slow and steady, sustainable, organic way, right? We should not get carried away by what we hear and read about कि Zomato ने ये किया, Delivery ने वो किया, Oyo ने क्या किया, because Oyo उनके पास एक तो पैसा बहुत है, उनकी digital marketing teams में 200-300 लोग भरे होते हैं. In our small medium MSME business, we may not be able to do that. So it is very important to have a very realistic sense कि क्या possible है, and let's take slow and steady, but the right steps. So hopefully after the 3 objectives, ये 5 principles you will remember कि अगर digital में कुछ करना है, we need to think long term, because I think most of our businesses, we are here for the long term. We have to be prudent, we have to be profitable. We can't do the cash burn game that these startups play. So we have to be very conscious and mindful of that. Now, here is a simple 4-step process if you want to do something in digital marketing. It is called RACE. I've made it into a very simple acronym for you, so hopefully you can remember. RACE में 4 ही component है: reach, action, conversion, engagement. What does it mean? Reach means, again going back to the tractor example, if you have a new tractor or a new software that you want to market, or a new furniture that you want to market to your audience, like I said, it's important to know who is your audience. Men, women, age bracket, उनके पास डेबिट क्रेडिट कार्ड है कि नहीं, वो इंटरनेट पे कितना टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं. सो आपको रिसर्च तो करना ही पड़ेगा. उसके बाद यू नीड टू फिगर आउट कि ये कौन सा चैनल यूज करते हैं, इनको हम कैसे रीच करें. टीवी के माध्यम से रीच करें, टिकटॉक के माध्यम से रीच करें, या गूगल या फेसबुक या टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया. सो यू हैव टू फाइंड दैट आउट. बट द गोल नंबर 1 is to be able to reach your target audience through the right channels. So that is the first game, reach. Now ये जो बाकी 3 है, I just want to call out कि in the pre-digital era, you did not have much choice. Like I told you, you would typically put an ad, like I told you, the Fevicol or the Nirma ad on TV and print. बस उसके आगे भगवान भरोसे. But with digital, you not only have the option, but it's your duty to be able to follow through and do the next 3. कि अगर आपने मान लो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में या के वेबसाइट पे या किसी मोबाइल ऐप में आपने ऐड दिया या यूट्यूब पे आपने ऐड डाला आपके ट्रैक्टर का, इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट कि वो ऐड देखने के बाद व्हाट एक्शन डिड पीपल टेक. डिड दे कम टू योर वेबसाइट, Did they Google search for your product or category or your brand? Did they click on the ad that they saw on moneycontrol.com and did they come to your website? So action is very important. Key, you need to know what is the desired action I want my target audience to take after I have reached them. So that is very important. And like I said, reach में it can be ads or it can be email or it can be SMS, right? तो reach के भी अलग-अलग तरीके होते हैं. So वो depend करता है कि आपका target audience कहाँ रहता है, कौन से channels use करता है, and accordingly you need to find the channels to reach them. उसके बाद typically आपने अगर email भेजी हो या SMS भेजा हो या कोई ad दिया हो, typically इंसान एक लिंक, आई एम श्योर वो एड में लिंक होगा, ईमेल में लिंक होगा, वो क्लिक करके इंसान आपकी वेबसाइट या ऐप पे आएगा. दैट इज स्टेप 2. स्टेप 3, लाइक आई सेड, इज कन्वर्जन. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट कि अल्टीमेटली ऑल ऑफ दिस डिजिटल मार्केटिंग गेम, ये सब करने से अगर आपका धंधा नहीं बढ़ा तो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट, राइट? वी आर नॉट डूइंग ऑल ऑफ दिस जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ डूइंग. इट मस्ट लीड टू मोर बिजनेस, मोर रेवेन्यू, मोर प्रॉफिट्स. अदरवाइज देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऑफ स्पेंडिंग दिस मनी. सो कन्वर्जन इज द एक्ट ऑफ, in the ideal case, is the act of purchase. That means I came to your website, I saw the product you're selling, let's say handicraft. मैंने कहा यार तो बढ़िया है, I want to try it. मैंने क्लिक करके ऑनलाइन बाय कर दिया और प्रोडक्ट मेरे घर आ गया. बट मान लो आपका अगर बिजनेस B2C नहीं है, कंज्यूमर बिजनेस नहीं है, बट ट्रैक्टर है. इट कुड सिंपली बी अ फॉर कि आई वांट टू कम फॉर अ डेमो इन योर शोरूम. अगर आप गाड़ी बेच रहे हो, आई वांट टू कम एंड डू अ टेस्ट ड्राइव. दैट इज ऑल्सो कन्वर्जन. Now the point of conversion or the secret of conversion is to be able to collect data. क्योंकि जब इंसान खरीदता है या इंटरेस्ट एक्सप्रेस करता है, he or she is sharing his information with you कि भाई मेरा नाम प्रांतिक है, मेरा मोबाइल ये है, मेरा ईमेल ये है और some other details, आपके पास वो डेटाबेस में वो इंफॉर्मेशन आ गया. That if there is one thing you take away from today as a takeaway, as a next step, is how do I create this mechanism, RACE mechanism, so that I can collect that data and information about not just customers who buy, but also prospects who are interested, but also people who may not be interested, right? So collecting that information is the benefit of this conversion. So I must clarify, it's not just purchase and getting money in return. More than money, what is important for long term is the data and the information. अब चलो मान लो हो गया, वो आपके पास conversion आ गई, data हो गया, then digital का point is how do you keep nurturing and engaging. And I'm sure most of us as customers have experienced this कि आपने अगर Flipkart में कभी कुछ खरीदा होगा या Amazon पे खरीदा होगा या आपने Make My Trip में कभी holiday book करी होगी. One time you fill a form, I'm sure हर महीने हर हफ्ते आपके पास कोई SMS या email आती है. Sometimes it must be irritating. आप नहीं चाहते हो लेकिन तब भी आती है. So again, the point is not to go to the extreme and irritate your customers, but the point is to engage them. Engage का मतलब in simple terms, give them information, keep them updated कि अगला क्या program है, अगला क्या product है, अगला क्या offer है, promo है. And this applies to whether it's tractor or holiday or sabun or whatever, right? That is the digital world we live in. So remember, the game is race. You have to reach the right audience at the right time. You have to get them to take the desired action to find out more about your product and business, to get them to come to your website to learn more. And then ideal case mein, either they purchase if it's e-commerce, or at least they leave their information so that you can follow up. Getting that first party data, getting that first hand information about a customer or prospect is the name of digital. And once you have that, how do you nurture and keep your customers or your prospects happy with information, with offers, with educative content? That is the engagement part of it. So 3 key objectives, 5 principles, and the race. Hopefully you'll remember this. Now, 2 or 3 quick examples of how is this world different from the offline world. Because obviously India में last 20 साल में बहुत तब्दीली आई है, बहुत इंडिया ने तरक्की करी है, and I think a lot has to do with the digital revolution. But we need to understand also conceptually कि what is this difference? क्या बदला है? Let me give you an example. So till about last 20 years ago, till 1990s, most of India's ads used to be on TV, billboards, radio, print. And like I said, they are still important. But the game in that older era was आप हर जगह इश्तेहार छाप दो. And what is called spray and pray. आप ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहे हो, आप हर जगह पोस्टर लगवा रहे हो, बस स्टॉप पे, स्कूलों पे, हर जगह, लेकिन आपको पता नहीं कौन देख रहा है भी नहीं, और वो देखकर वो इंसान खरीद रहा है कि नहीं आपको नहीं पता, तो आप मेजर नहीं कर पा रहे हो. सो ये स्प्रे एंड प्रे का फायदा है, आई थिंक इट गिव्स यू रीच, लाइक आई सेड RAC में इट गिव्स यू रीच, बट उसके आगे का एक्शन, कन्वर्जन, एंगेजमेंट ऑफलाइन मीडिया कांट गिव यू, बिकॉज उसकी लिमिटेशन है. So it's important to know कि हम कहां से आए हैं. So in the world of offline media, we were just छापोफाइंग ads and hoping कि भाई लोग, people will observe me, they will remember me, और जब खरीदना होगा तो दुकान में जाके मेरा प्रोडक्ट खरीदेंगे, मेरा कंपटीशन का नहीं खरीदेंगे. But that has changed. Now we have moved into what is called the experience economy, where through race, like I showed you, the goal is to create demand, capture demand, and then retain demand. The same thing is shown in this circular customer experience journey. जैसे आप देख रहे हो, how do you create that need, generate that need, how do you become top of mind so that you're part of the initial consideration set. I gave you the example of Nike, Adidas, कि इंसान जब सोचता है कि आज फास्ट फूड खाना है, आप अगर किसी से पूछो इंडिया में फास्ट फूड खाना है कहाँ जाना है, टिपिकली शायद से बोलेगा मैकडोनल्ड, KFC, गोली वड़ा पाव शायद से, या some local shops here and there, but 3 या 4 brands, उसके आगे नहीं, because our brain can't keep it. So how as a company, how can you ensure कि they remember your brand and not your competitor's brand, right? So if you look at this customer experience journey loop, there is a before purchase, there is a during purchase, and most importantly after purchase. So purchase के बाद how can you use digital for engagement, जैसे मैंने भी कहा, so that you can create what is called loyalty loop, ताकि इंसान आपसे एक बार नहीं बार बार खरीदे, बिकॉज दैट इज द गोल ऑफ एवरी बिजनेस, राइट? कि इतने मुश्किल से मैंने एक कस्टमर लाया, अगर वो सिर्फ एक बार खरीदता है और फिर कभी नहीं आता है, उसका ये मतलब हो सकता है कि शायद से मेरा प्रोडक्ट खराब है, मेरी प्राइसिंग में प्रॉब्लम हो, या फिर कोई किसी और कंपटीटर ने उसको ले लिया. सो हाउ डू आई प्रोएक्टिवली क्रिएट दिस कस्टमर लॉयल्टी कर्व, जो ये डायग्राम में आपको दिख रहा है, ताकि एक बार जब खरीदता है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स द असम्पशन इज आपकी प्रोडक्ट इज at least average, if not better than average. अगर प्रोडक्ट ही खराब है, then let me tell you, no amount of marketing can help you. In fact, marketing will do you a disservice. Through your marketing, you will attract people, they will use your product and they will realize that my product ही खराब है. So that is also a very important distinction कि marketing cannot be like a lipstick that you put on a bad product, right? अगर product खराब है, so you have to fix your product. Service खराब है, तो आपको service fix करनी पड़ेगी. But remember, the goal is to move away from spray and pray broadcast to this very targeted customer experience, right? And this customer experience has to be targeted and personalized. That is the another big difference compared to the 1980s and before. वहां पे टीवी में आपने डाल दिया ad, अब आपको पता नहीं कि जब टीवी पे ad आ रहा है, लोग टॉयलेट ब्रेक ले रहे हैं, किचन में गए हैं, या इफ्तार देख रहे हैं, और अगर ad देख रहा है तो is the man looking, the woman looking, or is the dog looking at the ad? राइट, आपको पता ही नहीं. लेकिन डिजिटल में आपको पता चल जाएगा, बिकॉज यू कैन टारगेट योर एड. यू कैन टेल गूगल, फेसबुक और एनी डिजिटल सिस्टम कि भाई ये ईमेल या ये एड ओनली शो इट टू मेन 31 to 32 years old who have a bank credit card account. So you can be very, very detailed and prescriptive because you want to personalize the offer. Because the goal is, as you see in the image on the left, अगर किसी को जूते खरीदने हैं, उसको why do you want to show him a coffee machine? Right? किसी को अगर जूते खरीदने हैं तो show her जूते, right? किसी को अगर कॉफी मशीन खरीदने हैं, you need to show him coffee machine, right? किसी को अगर गेमिंग करना है, you need to show him the gaming Xbox. So it's very important, like I said, to know your audience, उनको क्या चाहिए, so that data is important कि audience कौन है, उनकी डेमोग्राफी क्या है, उनको क्या चाहिए, और ये सब डेटा आपको डिजिटल से मिल सकता है. अगर again if you do it the right way, slow and steady way, digital has the power to tell you कि who needs what, right? Or at least give you a very good estimate. So it is very important to know your audience.
Ladies को invisible करो, ये लोग नहीं तो they might play, है ना? ठीक है ये.
Sorry, I think there was a bit of noise, so I just paused there. So remember, from spray and pray, we have gone into customer experience, and customer experience has to drive personalization, because जितना personalize करोगे आप product या service, उतना higher chance होगा customer खुश होने का, and he or she will buy more. And I just want to show you the Coca-Cola example that to illustrate the point कि this is, lot of people say नहीं यार कि ये digital में personalization सिर्फ modern business कर सकते हैं. Coca-Cola as a business has been around for 60 plus years. They realize कि यार why can't we personalize? ये कोक कैन में या कोक बॉटल में किसी का नाम पर्सनल क्यों नहीं हो सकता? It's today seems simple, but 4 साल पहले when they first did it, all the management people were very scared कि क्या बोल रहे हो यार, कोक का ब्रांड इतना हेरिटेज है, हिस्ट्री है, but they said यार समय के साथ चलना पड़ेगा. So then they did this campaign where people could actually have their own names on the bottles and the cans, and this had a massive, not only massive sales impact, it also led to a lot of positive feedback and news about Coke on social media. कि यार इतनी पुरानी brand, they have taken such a different stance. They are trying to personalize the product. So remember, digital, because it can allow you to reach people in a very targeted manner. You're not doing spray and pray anymore. You're doing a very targeted campaign. So आप अगर tractor बेच रहे हो, you can figure out ways to reach out to the specific farmers. Let's say you want to sell tractors to farmers in Ludhiana. You can tell all of these digital channels कि यार only show my ads or send these SMSs to farmers who are men and women between 35 to 45-year-old in Ludhiana. So you can be that specific. तो आप वेस्टेज नहीं कर रहे हो, आप पूरी दुनिया को आप एड नहीं दिखा रहे हो, क्योंकि अगर आप ट्रैक्टर बेच रहे हो, what is the point of showing tractor ads to everyone, right? Not everyone is your customer. So you can really narrow down, and then what is best is if you can personalize it, right? So that is another point to bear in mind. So in summary, in the digital age, there are 4 things that's important as you try and make your business more digital. एक है, who are the people within your team or your partners, your agency partners who are helping you? What are the processes that they are following? What data are you collecting? And what technology do you have? And I will touch upon each of these with one slide quickly. People, process, data, and MarTech means marketing technology. Ye 4 components are very important. And if you use that well, that is what will allow you to deliver personalized customer experience on digital. And if you do that well, like I told you, all this must lead to profit and revenue. Otherwise, koi fayda nahi, right? So first things first, marketing objectives. Next, the 5 principles of digital. Then the operational mechanics of race, reach, action, conversion, engagement. And the goal is to move away from spray and pray broadcasting to very targeted, personalized digital marketing. And that is possible if you have the right people in your organization, right processes, if you're collecting customer data, and if you're using the right technology. वो सब अगर साथ में हो, that's when you know, these are the ingredients, and that with that you can cook a very good personalized customer experience, which will allow you to drive profits for your business. Now, what do these 4 points really mean? So, in organizations as a small business, it's very critical कि आपको कल से digital marketing करना है. These are the 5 stages of digital. कि are you in complete denial? कि भाई, a lot of people say कि, and maybe right, कि digital is not for me. यार हमारे धंधे के लिए digital नहीं चाहिए. That's fine. Or maybe you hire one digital magic man or woman. Most SMEs fall in this category. कि मैंने किसी digital person को hire कर लिया और then I expect कि boss कल से जादू होने वाला. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen that way, because like I said, you need a good amount of skill set. एक बंदा या बंदी can't do it. You need 4-5 people, different skill sets, either in-house or through some partner, right? But I wanted to call out that more SMEs and MSMEs fall in the digital magic man woman category. All the new age companies like Zomato, Swiggy, वगैरह, they fall into digital DNA because वो पैदा ही हुई है digital के साथ. So they know the digital tricks very well, right? So the goal is to firstly acknowledge where you are. Are you in digital denial today, or do you have one digital magic man or woman? And then how do you go across this maturity curve, right? How do you go one step at a time towards the right hand side? It's very important to know who is going to handle digital. And one more mistake that SMEs do is वो जो magic man या woman को रखते हैं, they typically hire a young college kid because उनको लगता है कि अच्छा young है तो digital use करता होगा तो ये top होगा. But using digital versus using digital for business बहुत फर्क होता है, बहुत maturity चाहिए होती है. So again, if you're doing it, do it slowly, budget properly, but do it well, and don't just give it to some young kid. I'm not saying young people can't, but you would need, the point is not about young or old. Anyone can do it, but the point is who understands the importance and how to use digital for business, not how to use digital as a consumer, right? So difference is very important. Next is it's a process. So this is, I'm showing you a chart from one of our MSME clients who are an architecture, they're an architecture firm, they're a B2B architecture firm, they do office interior design. So you have to, as a marketer, digital marketer, using RACE, you have to create this funnel. Funnel का मतलब क्या होता है? Literally, as you see the image, it looks like a funnel, which means through the same RACE principle, our reach, we decided कहाँ पे ads डालनी है, कैसे email भेजना है, कहाँ SMS करना है, who is the audience, which industries do we want to target. वो planning के बाद we managed to drive a lot of website sessions. So A for action, our goal was कि हम तकरीबन 2 लाख website visitors लाएंगे. So we managed to cross that. उसके बाद, like I said, conversion. अभी architecture you can't buy online. So you have to, the next best option is people can register, they can download some information, they can download a brochure. So when they download a brochure, in return, we get some lead information. Unka name, email ID, ata pata, so on. Those are called subscribers or leads. Now, उसके बाद उनकी एक sales team है that calls them up कि sir आपने ये form भरा था, आपने download करा था, are you interested for our architecture services? Are you interested for a demo? That is what MQL and SQL is. MQL is marketing qualified leads. SQL is sales qualified leads. So as you see, हमारा कोई target था साल का, we are roughly more or less close to that target. And then after the marketing qualified, when they are really ready, they become sales qualified. And उसके बाद sales team starts negotiating, sending contract, and finally, वो opportunity becomes a client. So the point to illustrate here is it's a process. Automatic magic नहीं होता. There are these 7-8 steps. धीरे धीरे आप जब आपके वेबसाइट में या ऐप में आपके लोग आते हैं, like I said, if you only did spray and pray, you would just get people to your website and then hope that they will pick up the phone and call you. But that is not how it will work. You need to have a system in place where you can convert the website visitors into subscribers, into newsletter subscribers, into leads in return for giving them something for free or value. उसके बाद जब एक कॉल होगी, मीटिंग होगा, तो आप धीरे धीरे इसको ट्रैक करते हो. सो ये एक प्रोसेस है मार्केटिंग फनल क्रिएट करने का. इसमें टाइम लगता है, एफर्ट लगता है, एंड इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू रिमेंबर कि वो प्रोसेस बहुत जरूरी है. सो पीपल था, उसके बाद प्रोसेस, उसके बाद व्हाट्स इंपॉर्टेंट इज डेटा. कि लाइक आई सेड, यू नो, इंसान अगर किसी को अगर ट्रैक्टर खरीदनी हो, अगर सेम एग्जांपल, दे विल नॉट बाय इमीडिएटली. वो 4-5 ऐड देखेगा, गूगल सर्च करेगा, 10 वेबसाइट पढ़ेगा, और जितना कीमती प्रोडक्ट उतना ज्यादा रिसर्च करेगा. राइट? जस्ट आस्क योरसेल्फ, आप जब हॉलिडे करते हो, टिपिकली आप रिसर्च करते हो. अच्छा, अगर हमें शिमला जाना है तो शिमला में कौन से होटल में, वहां पे क्या करेंगे, आप बहुत रिसर्च करते हो. सो इट्स अ कस्टमर जर्नी. एंड एज अ बिजनेस व्हाट्स इंपॉर्टेंट इज, जितना आपको इंफॉर्मेशन हो कि ट्रैक्टर खरीदने से पहले इंसान कितना रिसर्च करता है, कौन से साइट पे रिसर्च करता है, क्या ढूंढ रहा है, कि उसकी बजट क्या है, आपके पास जितना डेटा पॉइंट्स होगी उस जर्नी में, आप कस्टमर को उतना बेटर समझ पाओगे. सो दिस इज अ चार्ट टू शो कि जैसे हमने रिसर्च करा था फेसबुक के साथ कि इंडिया में जब कोई गाड़ी खरीदता है, टिपिकली दे गो थ्रू व्हाट इज कॉल्ड 39 टच पॉइंट्स. मतलब हमको लगता है कि कोई इंसान गाड़ी खरीदना है तो वो इमीडिएटली जाके गोडाउन या शोरूम जाएगा और गाड़ी खरीद लेगा. बट व्हाट डेटा शोज अस इज देयर आर एक्चुअली 39 स्टेप्स between someone desiring a car and actually making a purchase. वो दोस्तों से पूछेगा, वो 3 दफे सर्च करेगा, 4 ब्रांड के वेबसाइट्स पे जाएगा, लीड फॉर्म भरेगा, सेल्स बंदे कॉल करेंगे, यू विल नेगोशिएट. उसके बाद आप शोरूम जाओगे, आप टेस्ट ड्राइव करोगे, आप डिसाइड नहीं करोगे, घर आके आप अपनी बीवी फैमिली से पूछोगे, रिपीट. और तो ये काफी बड़ी जर्नी है. तो ये जो परचेस साइकिल होता है, ये जो कस्टमर जर्नी होता है, अगर I am that Mahindra brand, the more information that I have of this customer journey, the better I can do my digital marketing. How? Because I know कि आपकी जर्नी क्या है, आपके कितने टच पॉइंट्स हैं, और आपको क्या इंफॉर्मेशन की जरूरत है हर टच पॉइंट पे. तो अगर मुझे पता है कि अच्छा स्टेप नंबर 5 में आपको प्राइसिंग इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, चलो मैंने आपको दे दिया प्राइसिंग. फिर स्टेप नंबर 9 में शायद से आपको मतलब ये गाड़ी आपको पसंद है लेकिन आपके बजट से ऊपर है, चलो मैंने आपको एक ऑफर दे दिया. Right? So it is this journey which all those new age digital companies are champion at. आप कोशिश करके देखिए, अगर आप फ्लिपकार्ट की वेबसाइट में जाओगे और आपने मान लो एक जैकेट देखा और आपने खरीदा नहीं, चांसेस आर आपको अगले हफ्ते में 3 एसएमएस, 2 ईमेल, डिस्काउंट प्रोमो कोड मिल जाएगा. और ये बाय द वे कोई मैनुअल प्रोसेस नहीं है, ये सब कुछ ऑटोमेटेड है बाय लॉजिक. एंड दैट इज द पावर ऑफ डिजिटल. लास्ट पॉइंट था इन टर्म्स ऑफ मार्केटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी। तो यहाँ पे अलग अलग सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं डिपेंडिंग ऑन बजट, सेल्सफोर्स, एडोबी, ओरेकल, हबस्पॉट, इंडिया में लीड स्क्वेयर, बहुत सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं। अगेन technology doesn't matter. What matters is, are we using, are our people and processes using the technology to understand and categorize our customers? So this chart, what it is showing is कि how can you understand and categorize your customers better? तो मान लो आपके पास 100 कस्टमर हैं, there are softwares like these which can put them into different buckets कि ये 5 are my champions, मतलब हर बार मेरे से ही खरीदेंगे and they are not price sensitive. ये 10 लोग हैं जो मतलब डिली डाली कर रहे हैं, शायद से खरीदेंगे या नहीं खरीदेंगे। ये 5 है जो कभी नहीं खरीदेंगे, चाहे मैं उनको मुफ्त में दे दूं तब भी नहीं खरीदेंगे। So the point of this is, if you can segment your customers into different buckets, then you can customize your marketing. Meaning, अगर कोई चैंपियन है, मतलब आपसे लास्ट 10 साल से खरीद रहा है और मतलब डेटा शोज कि वो आपसे ही खरीदेगा, आपके ब्रांड को बहुत चाहता है, there is no point of giving that person a promo or discount. Why should you lose money by giving a discount? Maybe you can give him something else of value. Maybe आप उसको किसी VIP इवेंट में बुला लीजिए, right? जैसे some airlines do that. But अगर मान लो कोई डिली डाली कर रहा है, कोई is undecided, आप उस बंदे को, आप जब उस बंदे को जब आप एड दिखाओगे या ईमेल भेजोगे, आप उस बंदे को कोई ऑफर दे दो ताकि you can convince him and convert him. So this segmented way of marketing is the new age of digital marketing. Because remember, we are not trying to show the same message to everyone. That is called spray and pray. We are trying to break our customer audience base into smaller groups like these and show them customized, personalized message, like the Coca-Cola example. So that was, some core fundamentals. Now I will go into one specific trick of organic. जैसे मैंने कहा था कि organic is the future and it is the most cost-effective way of doing it. Now that is called the organic data content loop. In simple terms, what it means is, as a business owner, as a marketer, आपके पास 4 ही channels हैं. It's called PESO. P-E-S-O. P is paid media, E is earned media, S is shared media, O is owned media. पर इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? Paid media is advertising. मतलब आपको अगर किसी को पैसे देना पड़े मार्केट करने के लिए, उसे पेड मीडिया कहते हैं, which is TV, which is दैनिक जागरण, which is Facebook, which is Google. All these are paid advertising channels, and the new age companies spend millions of dollars a month on it. Just to give you a context, Make My Trip type company हर 2 दिन में $1 million खर्च करती है ads में. And that's why I said, if you're not in that category, or if you don't play that game well, digital can be very expensive. But what I will focus on is the other 3, earned, shared and owned, which is in your control. जिसके लिए आपको किसी को बहुत ज्यादा पैसा नहीं देना पड़ेगा, right? Earned is basically what can you do so that people talk about you, which is called PR. आपको किसी को पैसे देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Hopefully your product or your service is so good that people talk about your brand, right? That is in fact one of the best ways of marketing, which is called word of mouth, ताकि community में आपकी चर्चा हो. The same old principle. Shared media में maybe आपकी community, आपकी जो loyal customers हैं, they are talking about you on social media, on SMS, on WhatsApp, or within their friend circle, again, without you having to pay them money. That means other people are talking about it. And the 4th is owned media, which is your own website, your own search engine ranking, your own mobile app, right? So my focus as a digital marketer, as an entrepreneur, has been on the other 3, not on paid media. Because paid media, Google, Facebook में ad चलाना, like I said, it's very easy, but it is a drug. एक बार लत लग गई, it's very hard to come out of it and can be very, very expensive. And unless you are one of those venture capital वाले business, I will not recommend that you go down that path. You can still use paid, but in a very prudent, judicious manner. But before you use paid, I think there are some basics that you should do. And some examples to illustrate this. So I don't know if many of you have heard of this US company called Glassdoor. Glassdoor आप देख सकते हो, glassdoor.com पे अगर आप जाओगे, it's basically a website जहाँ पे आपको दुनिया के most companies के बारे में एक rating मिलेगी, और वो rating है basically आप मान लो happymarketer.com का आपको जानना है कि ये कंपनी कैसी है. मान लो आप वहाँ पे जॉब अप्लाई कर रहे हो, तो आप दोस्तों से पूछ सकते हो, या फिर आप glassdoor.com में जाके हैप्पी मार्केटर सर्च कर सकते हो. आपको वहाँ पे एक रिव्यू मिलेगी. इट इज लाइक जोमैटो में जैसे रिव्यू मिलता है आपको रेस्टोरेंट का, Glassdoor is the same. Glassdoor gives you the review of the company. Oyo gives you the review of the hotel. And all these businesses, they use this thing called the data content loop. Meaning, so first things first, ये वेबसाइट जब बनाते हैं इनका प्रिंसिपल क्या होता है कि हमारे वेबसाइट में ऐसा हम कंटेंट डालेंगे ताकि लोग बार बार आते रहे, और इनके केस में वो कंटेंट कौन लिखता है? कस्टमर. इट्स अ वेरी स्मार्ट स्ट्रेटेजी कि वो रिव्यू कौन देता है? द क्राउड, आप और हम. वो जोमेटो में फूड रिव्यू कौन लिखता है? कस्टमर. सो ये वेबसाइट्स दे आर व्हाट्स कॉल्ड मिडिल प्लेटफॉर्म्स. ये अपनी कंटेंट थोड़ी बनाते हैं लेकिन बल्क ऑफ द कंटेंट इज मेड बाय द ऑडियंस एंड द कस्टमर. और फिर ये वेबसाइट्स वो कंटेंट दिखाती हैं एंड देन पीपल, इट्स अ वर्चुअस लूप. लोग आपके कंटेंट पढ़ते हैं, लोग अपना वोट देते हैं, अपना रिव्यू छोड़ते हैं, एंड देन मोर पीपल कम, राइट? सो दिस बिकम्स अ डेटा कंटेंट लूप कि आप जब वेबसाइट स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, you have to create and control your own content. That is the takeaway from this. कि can your business create interesting content ताकि लोग अपने आप आते रहें, right? It's a game of attraction. It's a game of pulling and attracting people as opposed to showing ads to push people somewhere, right? So the अंतर or the difference is pull versus pull. Data content loop का core principle है, हम ऐसा product बनाएंगे, हम ऐसा content लिखेंगे ताकि people keep coming बार बार, right? So Glassdoor, Zomato, Oyo, these are some very good examples who have used the data content loop to create this loop ताकि more people keep coming. And the question is, how does this work? So the data content loop has to work in conjunction with SEO. SEO का मतलब क्या हुआ? Search Engine Optimization. What does that really mean? आप जब गूगल में, आई एम श्योर आप सब सर्च तो करते ही होंगे, तो आप जब गूगल में सर्च करते हो कुछ भी, तो मैंने जैसे इस स्क्रीनशॉट में लिखा है बेस्ट होम लोन्स इंडिया, तो कुछ लिस्टिंग आती है. तो वो जो लिस्टिंग आती है, जो सबसे आप अगर आपके मोबाइल पे करोगे या डेस्कटॉप पे करोगे, ये जो मेरे स्क्रीनशॉट में वो एग्जांपल नहीं है, बट टिपिकली जो द टॉप 3 जो होती है, दे आर एड्स. गूगल के एड्स, उसको SEM बोलते हैं, जिसके लिए आपको गूगल को पैसा देना पड़ता है. बट बाकी के जो लिस्टिंग्स हैं वो नेचुरल है, ऑर्गेनिक है, वो आप पैसे से नहीं खरीद सकते हो, वो आपको ये डेटा कंटेंट लूप के थ्रू क्रिएट करना पड़ता है. सो डेटा कंटेंट लूप, अगर आपके पास कंटेंट अच्छी हो और पीपल आर कमिंग अगेन एंड अगेन, व्हाट हैपेंस इज गूगल रियलाइजेस कि यार ये वेबसाइट में तो बहुत लोग जा रहे हैं, मतलब इसका कंटेंट काफी बढ़िया होगा, तो वो गूगल आपके वेबसाइट को हाई रैंक करती है. और आपका एम होना चाहिए कि आपके ब्रांड के लिए, आपके कैटेगरी के लिए, सो आप अगर होम लोन बेच रहे हो या फिर आप अगेन ट्रैक्टर बेच रहे हो या मसाले बेच रहे हो, फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन पीपल सर्च ट्रैक्टर, योर वेबसाइट शुड कम इन द फर्स्ट पेज, बिकॉज पेज 2 पे कोई जाता नहीं है. तो अगर पेज 1 पे अगर आपकी वेबसाइट नहीं है तो फायदा ही नहीं होगा. एंड दिस इज द बिगेस्ट सीक्रेट, वेल केप्ट सीक्रेट, और द बिगेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी कि अगर आपको आपका बिजनेस बढ़ाना है in a very cost effective competitive manner, the goal should be content led SEO, search engine optimization. How to ensure कि जब कोई आपके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में या आपके इंडस्ट्री के बारे में सर्च करे, आपकी वेबसाइट सबसे ऊपर हो. एंड डेटा शोज जो टॉप 3 लिंक्स होते हैं, टॉप 3 ऑर्गेनिक लिंक्स होते हैं, दे गेट 70% ऑफ द क्लिक्स. तो मान लो अगर मुझे मेरे बच्चे को स्कूल, किसी इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में भेजना है और मैं सर्च कर रहा हूं बेस्ट इंटरनेशनल स्कूल सिंगापुर, डेटा शोज जो टॉप 3 लिस्टिंग आती है उनको 70% क्लिक्स मिल जाते हैं. एंड चांसेस आर दे गेट द बिजनेस, राइट? दे आर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग मी, दे आर इंस्पायरिंग मी. रिमेंबर द 3 मार्केटिंग ऑब्जेक्टिव्स: क्रिएट डिमांड, कैप्चर डिमांड, रिटेन डिमांड. सो गूगल सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन इज फैंटास्टिक फॉर क्रिएटिंग एंड कैप्चरिंग डिमांड. And this is the holy grail if you want to do digital marketing, if you want to start, before you spend a single rupee on paid ads on Instagram, Facebook, fix your SEO. This is, हमने भी जो छोटी बिजनेस हम 10 साल चलाई है, this is how I have grown the business, by ensuring कि अगर किसी को डिजिटल मार्केटिंग चाहिए सिंगापुर में, जब वो सर्च करते हैं, हैप्पी मार्केटर comes on page 1, ideally ranked number 1. So if there is one practical takeaway, अगर आपको कल से कोई एफर्ट स्टार्ट करना है, फोकस ऑन अपना कंटेंट, फिगर आउट किस बारे में, किस फॉर्मेट में आप कंटेंट प्रोड्यूस करोगे, एंड हाउ डू यू देन एंगेज समवन. SEO इज अ आर्ट एंड अ साइंस. आप SEO एक्सपर्ट हायर कर सकते हो इंटरनली, बट मुश्किल होगा. जनरली यू नीड अ एक्सपर्ट, एंड इंडिया में देयर आर क्वाइट अ फ्यू गुड एक्सपर्ट्स, in Delhi, Bombay, in fact in India, Chandigarh, Gujarat, has very good SEO experts. So SEO का process is very important, and the typical process starts with keywords. तो अगर आप किसी को engage कर रहे हो SEO के लिए, what you need to start with is यार कि अगर मैं ट्रैक्टर बेच रहा हूँ, इंडिया के लोग गूगल पे क्या सर्च कर रहे हैं ट्रैक्टर के बारे में, what are the keywords they are typing, और ये डेटा गूगल आपको फ्री देती है, तो आपको पैसा देना भी नहीं पड़ेगा. There is a tool called Google Keyword Tool. अगर आप जाओगे, log in करोगे with your Gmail account, you can find out कि what are people searching about tractors. Maybe they are searching best tractors India. Maybe they are searching loans for tractors. Maybe they are searching tractors for farming. तो जो भी highest search terms हैं, your goal should be कि जब जब इंडिया में कोई वो term search करेगा, how does my website rank high? And the same logic applies for whatever business you are in. Pipes हो या जो भी हो. And trust me, this is data has proven that this is practical and true for not just B2C but also for B2B. तो अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आप पाइप बेच रहे हो या आप कंस्ट्रक्शन बेच रहे हो या आर्किटेक्चर सर्विसेज बेच रहे हो या any other professional services, it is applicable for all industries. In fact, अगर आप B2B में हो, this is even bigger and important tool in your hand, a more cost effective tool than running paid ads. So remember, अगर आपको step 1 करना है content and आपको पता करना है कि आपके category में कौन से keywords लोग search कर रहे हैं, and then hire a SEO expert who can ensure कि जब वो keyword search होगा, your website comes at least on page 1. And just to give you an example कि इसका फायदा क्या होता है, some of you may or may not have heard about this gentleman. His name is Rich Barton. He has mastered this art actually. Rich Barton, he's actually very rich. He's worth about $400 million. He used to be an employee at Microsoft. And after that, very few people know this. He's the founder or co-founder of these 3 companies. Expedia, I'm guessing काफी लोगों ने इंडिया में यूज करा होगा. Glassdoor भी काफी पॉपुलर है. Zillow is basically America's largest property portal. तो जैसे इंडिया में Magic Bricks हो गया, उस तरह के का पोर्टल है. He has used this data content playbook to make his businesses extremely successful. All of these businesses are, more than $1 billion value, multi-billion dollars. And the chart on the right hand shows which marketing or digital marketing channels did Rich Barton use to acquire new customers. And if you see, most of his the bar chart that you see for all 3 businesses is either dark gray or light gray. Dark gray means search engine, SEO. That means for Glassdoor, nearly 70% of his customers he acquired through SEO. He didn't pay any money to Google, Facebook, Instagram, or he paid very less. Expedia में 45%, Zillow में around 40%. Next was direct. Direct मतलब उसने अपना ब्रांड इस तरह से बनाया, people remembered the brand. लोग खुद ब खुद जब किसी को प्रॉपर्टी खरीदना होता है, आदमी zillow.com जाता है. He is not clicking on a Facebook ad. So the point being that if you want to grow your respective MSME family-owned business in a sustainable, organic, digital way, don't take the drug of running ads. Facebook, Instagram में डालने से automatically कुछ नहीं होगा. The only thing that will happen is 3 months later you will either realize बहुत पैसा खर्च हो रहा है, or you realizing कि कुछ nothing is happening, and you will lose faith in digital, which defeats the purpose. So if in digital, if there is one thing and only one thing you focus on, follow Rich Barton's organic growth playbook, which is all about this data content SEO loop, which is really about ranking high on search engines. So hopefully that is the key takeaway that you take. कि ads, Facebook, Google ads में, Instagram ads में पैसा spend करने से पहले master this first. ये करने के बाद then you can spend as much as you want, but exhaust this option first. Let this be your first step. And this is, by the way, not just true for American companies. There are examples of good Indian companies, Indian tech companies who are realizing this कि यार raising funds is not the only way. As India में जैसे कहते हैं कि अगर हम धंधा कर रहे हैं, मुनाफा के लिए कर रहे हैं, प्रॉफिट के लिए कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ वैल्यूएशन गेम नहीं खेलना है. तो इंडिया का एक बहुत फेमस कंपनी है Zoho, where he has raised no funding, but he is extremely successful. ये शालिन जैन का आप स्क्रीनशॉट देख रहे हो कुछ दिनों पहले लिंक्डइन में, he shared himself कि 7 साल में he has grown his business from $100,000 to $10 million बिना कोई फंडिंग लिए. His business has grown 70% year on year last 3 साल में. And what is important is, if you notice, they spend less than 10% on sales and marketing and only 6% of revenue on advertising. The reason I wanted to show this to you is 3 things. कि ये सिर्फ American phenomena नहीं है. Number 2, this is applicable to Indian businesses, and India में भी लोग tech business कर रहे हैं in a profitable manner without raising funding. So you don't always have to play the SoftBank wala या China funded venture capital game. You can run a very successful, sustainable, profitable business. And to give you अंदाजा कि अगर आप अपना marketing plan कर रहे हो, typically India में MSME या small medium family owned business, they spend anywhere between 2 to 10% of their annual turnover on marketing. और जैसे मैंने कहा, आप धीरे धीरे आप 2-3% से start करिएगा, उसके बाद if it works, go on to up to 10%, but 4-5% is not a bad start. और question है, सवाल है आप वो किस पे खर्च करोगे? My submission is please focus on organic. By the way, organic और inorganic क्या होता है? Organic मतलब आप किसी को पे नहीं कर रहे हो, ये naturally हो रहा है. Inorganic होता है Google paid ads, Facebook paid ads, Times of India में paid. Anything that is paid, that is inorganic. But hopefully this example from Rich Barton, in fact all 3 are his own companies, and he has done this repetitively, which also shows कि ये one trick pony नहीं है. There is science in this, and India maybe companies are trying to follow this. In fact, all the family owned businesses I showed you, their mode of growth is this: let's do it slow and steady. Let's follow the principle of people, process, data. Let's understand customers better. Let's collect customer data so that we can do RACE, R-A-C-E, right? So it's very important that you follow a process, you have the right people who are using the right technology in the right way, and you are thinking long term. नहीं तो ये आजकल के नए businesses, they just spend suddenly millions of dollars on ads, and again they can do that. I'm not saying that's not right, but उनका business model अलग है. But if you're a normal, profitable, sustainable, family-owned business, take small and steady steps. And research shows that organic search, आप अगर इस survey का result देख रहे हो, it's in fact one of the best and the best performing channels. So it is not just a cheap way of doing it, it is also one of the better performing channels. Because अगर आप सोचो, आप कभी न्यूज़पेपर खोलते हो ad देखने के लिए, आप न्यूज़पेपर खोलते हो न्यूज़ पढ़ने के लिए, आप टीवी खोलते हो एड्स देखने के लिए नहीं. तो ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं मिला है मुझे जो टीवी खोलता है या यूट्यूब खोलता है एड देखने के लिए. Ads by definition disrupt our behavior. They are sometimes they are a nuisance, and sometimes the ad may be good, but they may not be relevant. And I am not opening YouTube to watch an ad. I am not opening TV to watch an ad. So paid, anything that is paid is an ad, and it is disrupting what I'm actually trying to do. But organic search क्या है कि मैं Google में search कर रहा हूँ tractor, loans for tractor, मतलब मुझे चाहिए, मतलब मेरा intent है, और your ad or your message is showing up when I want it, right? So it is a intent game. It is a push versus pull game. आप किसी पे थोप नहीं रहे हो कि भाई मेरा ट्रैक्टर ले लो. You are basically saying कि आपको ट्रैक्टर चाहिए, हाँ मेरे वेबसाइट में आइए. So you are being very polite, you are being very natural, and that is why they say organic का जो result आता है in terms of sales, in terms of profits, is far better, right? So here are some steps as you think about digital. Think organic, think about search engine optimization. If you're talking to a digital marketing person or an agency, think about how can you fix your website analytics. How can you start collecting customer data in your database? Think about content, think about the data content loop, think about email, because this is something that really works, is profitable, is sustainable, and definitely works far better than sharing content on Facebook and Instagram and running ads. And as I end this, all I want to say is it's very important to bear in mind that it is not true that marketing is very expensive. Like I showed you in the screenshot, Zoho and Happy Fox, advertising is very expensive. Running ads on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube can be very expensive. But writing emails, writing content, sharing content, that doesn't take too much money. So please bear that in mind. And as you start your journey of digital, एक चीज मैं कहूँगा, because we are in the COVID scenario, कि a lot of customer behaviors are changing and we have to keep the emerging trends in mind. Which means people are working from home. People आजकल सब कुछ, everything is becoming e-commerce and m-commerce. Travel obviously affect होगा. So depending, the point of showing these emerging trends is human behavior is changing and changing very quickly. So when you think of digital, when you think of content, think about your customers and your audience, and in today's environment. That is the point. Because the environment is very different compared to even 3 or 4 months ago, when the world was busy traveling, doing business development, going to schools and offices. Suddenly everything has become homebound in most places. So always keep relevance of the customer in mind. And that's all from my side. Sorry, I've taken 10-12 minutes more, but I think, as a country, as industries, as we are trying to become Atmanirbhar, it's important. And I think organic lends itself very well to the Atmanirbharta, because you don't want to be held ransom to paying paid ads and paid money and get into that paid media loop. Remember PESO, paid, earned, shared, owned. Focus on the earned, shared and owned media channels. Figure out how to rank better on search engines. And that is how you become a sustainable Atmanirbhar model. So that's it from my side. Happy to take any questions if people have time. I have some time. Definitely happy to do that. And I will of course circulate the PowerPoint deck through Ankita and Vikas, and you guys can add me on LinkedIn and send me questions. Happy to answer there as well. Thank you so much.
Prantik, we have a question from Mr. Sudeep Goenka.
Sure.
Hi Prantik, first of all, congratulations. You just become the MD and CEO of the company, and I'm sure you have a long way to go ahead. And friends, I've been friends with Prantik for 20 years now, and I never knew he has such depth of knowledge which he never shared with me before. Thanks to TiE UP. So Prantik, I have a question that a typical FMCG company in India or worldwide has a budget of anywhere between 4 to 8% of top line for ATL and BTL marketing. For digital, what kind of budget should the company assign to be really effective?
Yeah, good question. So, whatever in general, what I see in Asia and India is if you're spending, let's say 8% of your, top line on overall marketing spends, I would say in a market like India, generally about at least 30 to 40%, I would typically today, at least Indian companies that I see would put into digital. And when I say digital, again, you have to break it down. There is, cost for your digital people. There is cost for digital ads. There is cost for content. So of course, there are maybe 5-6 line items, but I am starting to see anywhere between 30 to 50% of your overall marketing spend. Of course, the likes of the digital first companies, that percentage is much higher. But like I said, in India, offline has a lot of value. So I would say a good starting point is anywhere between 30 to 40% of your overall marketing budget.
Thank you. And just a follow-up question, does that cover the kind of spending we do on the e-commerce platforms like the big baskets, Amazon, Flipkarts? Because they are really expensive now.
Yeah, good question. No, so that's a good question. What this math doesn't cover is any capital expenditure that you might incur in buying tools and technology or building something. This is your recurring OPEX cost. CAPEX has to be budgeted separately. And this is also does not include the partnership cost that you might have with a big basket, etc. Because yes, those are becoming, we have seen this 10-20 years ago in the travel industry where your airlines were beholden to the likes of Make My Trip and Clear Trip because they take 20, 30, 40% of commissions. So those have to be built into your business model separately. This I'm talking purely of ATL and BTL on digital on an OPEX level. No builds and no partnership costs. They are separate.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
So we have another question from Utsav. How to find the right agency to do the organic work on the site?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Yeah? So I think first things first, as a business, you need to decide what is right and what are you looking for. I think setting that expectation, setting your budgets and what do you expect, I think there has to be some internal alignment within the business, ultimately chahiye kya. And then I think if you can write to me, I can definitely recommend 3 or 4 good SEO agencies, that I have worked with in India. And it is like with anything and everything, like in the car industry, you have a Tata Nano to a Mercedes. Same in our industry, there is low cost to high cost. And the difference is, it's the level of servicing, it's the level of maturity, it's the level of experience and maturity that you would find in people. So again, I leave it to the business to decide the right budget. But India, generally I found that Delhi, Bombay, of course, there are good SEO agencies, but as you can imagine, the overheads are expensive. So Delhi, Bombay agencies tend to be quite expensive. There are cost-effective agencies in Chandigarh and Gujarat, but again, the engagement levels could be very different. Their polish of language, reporting, etc. So depending on your budget, you have to make some sort of a trade-off. कि आपको कितनी servicing चाहिए, कितनी help चाहिए, how much, what level of reporting do you want? But feel free to write to me. I'll be happy to connect you with a couple of friends who have done some good work. And one is a smaller company, one is slightly bigger. So hopefully you can get a couple of options. But most important is to get alignment with them. Ki what problem are we solving? Which keywords are we going after? Are we going after 10 keywords, 20 keywords? Currently, where do we rank versus future state? Do we want, how fast can we get to page 1? So to get that alignment is the most important part of it. And I think when you have these conversations with the SEO agency, you will understand the maturity and how good they are. And one thing I would warn you is, if any of these companies tell you that I guarantee rankings, that's the first sign not to work with them. Because honestly, no one except for Google knows the Google ranking formula. So no one can guarantee you that for sure. So please don't fall into that trap. It is a art and science and a trial and error game, to be honest. And the better ones have basically have a better process to do the trial and error in a better way. So that is also one warning when you speak. It's a good way to figure out who's a good agency and who's not.
Next question by Mr. Rajiv
yeah, one more
Ramani.
Hi, Prantik.
Hi,
It was nice hearing to you, and I am really impressed. I have attended couple of digital marketing sessions, but the kind of clarity you have given, it is actually mind-blowing. I mean, people like me who have always been averse to digital, would probably think now to put in money, and the way you have explained is just wonderful. My simple question to you is, most of us are actually, as you said, are running family-owned businesses, and I mean, I guess most of us are single-man armies, So can you come up with anything which, can be customized for, TIE, I mean, we would be really happy to work with people like you who have immense experience and knowledge. And would you really create some domain to guide MSMEs here in India and create a customized package for us?
Firstly, thank you, Rajiv. That's very kind of you and nice of you to say those words. I would definitely be interested. Now, let me obviously have a follow-up chat with Ankita and members of the TIE group in India and here. If that is something that TIE would typically kind of like to work towards, I would definitely like to try and see, what kind of 1 or 2 packages or, some sort of a series of packages that we can work on. So really thank you for the suggestion and appreciation. I will definitely follow up with Ankita, Vikas ji, as well as people from the TIE Singapore network to see what is it that we can do for TIE members. That's a very good suggestion.
We have one more small question from Ajay. What may be the right and needful medium or platform to reach to the rural markets of UP?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So when I look at the FMCG brands or other brands that are doing rural marketing, there, honestly, the channels that I see are doing pretty well is basic, but very, very useful. So I think for the longest time, SMS had been pretty prevalent. So I would still look at, again, if you're using digital, generally in rural India or even tier 3, tier 4 cities or towns in India, I think SMS has been pretty useful. Also, what I'm seeing is people or businesses using WhatsApp in a very clever way. Where basically, for example, let me give you an example, right? So what people are doing is, and I'm starting to see big brands also follow this, although first I had seen smaller brands do this, is businesses are getting a WhatsApp number, a business number, or even a personal number. And in every communication, businesses are advertising that number, and they are requesting the rural population to add that number on their phone. And they might say ki acha aapko, if you add this number, you are allowed to ask me whatever. Let's say I saw this with a healthcare business. They said add us and ask us healthcare questions or fitness questions. Because what happens is, if they add you and they ask you for the first time, they inherently are giving you permission and consent. And once they do that, you or your team can start responding to them on a one-on-one basis. So these mobile chat apps like WhatsApp to me are extremely useful and powerful because A, they are free, relatively speaking, but this needs manual effort. Currently, there hasn't been too much of automation that's been allowed on WhatsApp. And very soon with what's happening with Facebook and Jio, I reckon that this will only get more powerful, because not only can you do marketing, communication and conversation, because WhatsApp allows you voice and video and sending files, but soon they are integrating the payment platform. So even if some transaction has to happen, that can happen through WhatsApp Pay or Jio Pay in the near future. So apart from SMS, I am generally seeing the value of MSMEs as well as some big brands market using WhatsApp. So basically, you have a number le lo, and then you market that number so that people add you and get them to say hi or hello first, so that you have their consent. The other advantage is, when you do that, if you notice in the RACE model, by interacting on WhatsApp, you're also collecting people's mobile number data. So A, you have customer data and you can send messages to them, offers to them. Also, there's a clever trick that you can use when you're running Facebook ads eventually. There is a feature called custom audience when you're running ads on Facebook and Instagram. The way it works is, आपके पास अगर एक database या Excel sheet में अगर आपके पास लोगों के email ID हो या mobile number हो, आप उसको upload कर दें, and you can tell Facebook कि मेरा जो ad है या message है, आप सिर्फ इन्हीं लोगों को दिखाइए. So that becomes very powerful, because if you start doing this, your message and ad start reaching people who are in your database. So again, you are not spraying and praying. You are only reaching out to members in your database in a very efficient manner. So to your question, SMS and mobile chat apps like WhatsApp is what I am seeing, and I would highly recommend that. Vikasji, any other questions?
We have a question from Mr. Raghuveer Mathur. He runs a wellness center. He says, what should be the ideal budget percentage of total revenue for a service industry?
Yeah, so I think for total, I guess he's asking for total marketing budget. So again, I was saying, generally, again, like what Sudeep was rightly saying, in the FMCG space, 4 to 8% of revenue. In services, I've seen that to be slightly higher. Generally, again, because the profit margins tend to be higher. So the service industry, again, in the wellness industry, the fitness industry, I'm seeing as high as 15 to 20% of turnover on marketing, and about 40 to 50% of that on digital. So that's generally what I'm seeing in the fitness, wellness, that space in India. Also, I guess depends on how mature is your business. If you're in a very early stage, aggressive model, that number could be higher. But remember, whether you're spending 10 to 20% of your revenue on marketing or digital marketing, remember the same logic and framework. Don't just run ads, use SEO, and whatever you do, collect data. Collect your customer's mobile number and email ID with permission. Because again, today in India, the laws are a bit loose, but it's a matter of time, especially with this whole Chinese app bans. It's a matter of time that the new data privacy bill might come in, by the end of the year. Again, implementation of the law is questionable, but if you want to be on the right side of the law, take user consent and permission. That's the right way to do it. But I think around 10 to 20% for the services business.
Hi Prantik, thanks for your reply. It was a wonderful presentation. I mean, my query is that you, as you have mentioned, we have to take a legal, a written consent from the client's data. Like suppose some walk-ins come or inquiry comes up, what should be the ideal protocol?
Yeah. So assuming आपके case में there could be two cases. So assuming someone is coming to your clinic, typically, when they sign a form or when they are waiting and they sign a form, The form just needs to have a checkbox saying, I hereby give consent to receive marketing messages from this company. And if they give you that consent, that's a good enough start for you to start sending them emails or SMS messages. And
So
if it's a-
regarding SEO, how we should go about? Like you have proposed that we should initially do SEO as a starting phase. So what is how we should go about it?
So for
Initially.
SEO, yeah. So for SEO, for example, again in your industry, again it's a industry which uses digital very well. I think the first step should be in your city or your town or the markets wherever you have your clinics. How many people are searching for words related to weight management and laser skin, and how often? So once you get the top 10 or top 20 keywords by search volume in your cities of choice, which you can get from a free Google keyword tool. So later on, you can just type the word Google keyword tool and then log in, and it's a very simple, just like Google search, you enter city, you enter your industry, and Google will show you that in Uttar Pradesh or in Lucknow or Kanpur, here are the 20 keywords. Let's say losing weight, I want to lose weight. Those keywords or phrases in Kanpur, how many times are they being searched per month? So then you prioritize the ones in descending order, the ones that are being searched the most. So once you have that list, then the next step is either you have to hire your own SEO person in-house or a good SEO company, like someone else was asking, because they can then start creating content. So SEO, there are two things fundamentally: content creation, which is relevant to the keywords, and there is what is called, there is some backend technical backlinking, which is a bit of a technical work. So that company that you hire will do all of that for you, but the results are visible. Meaning for that keyword, if you are not ranking on page 1, the goal should be within 4 to 6 months, can you start ranking on page 1? And as you start ranking on page 1, you'll notice your website is getting a lot more traffic from that Google search engine page. So that's how I would typically do the process. Start with your keyword research.
And like regarding Facebook marketing, what is your suggestion? We should do it for open for all, or it should be like specialized to a particular segment, like to a particular as you have mentioned, that men above 30 years or person having certain mobile phones, certain that thing. What is your take on this?
Absolutely. So if you are advertising on Facebook, firstly, like I said, focus on the content and SEO first, but assuming you're doing this in parallel or after SEO, absolutely. The point of running ads on Facebook compared to a TV, like I said, TV mein or print mein, you put a broad ad. In Facebook, you should just do the reverse. You should look at your own past customers. Look at your own history of your business key, who typically comes to you. So assuming it is, I'm making this up, but if it's woman 35 to 40 from Kanpur, for example, you should tell Facebook to show my ads, show this ad to women from Kanpur, this age group, for example. And in fact, I'm just giving you a base level. There are 200 other parameters that you can choose. Key women who are 35 to 40, who like these pages or these brands, and you can keep refining, and your audience pool will obviously get smaller because you're putting more criteria, but they are likely to get more relevant. So I will always recommend going narrow and deep rather than broad.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Thank you, Prantik, for such an enlightening session to us. We just have one question, and now we are closing the question session. What is your take on influencer marketing?
To be honest, again, influencer marketing, I would deprioritize after SEO, after content. It is an interesting challenge. And again, let's say, for example, for weight management and laser skin, right? To me, if you're doing, let's say in this business or in the fitness business, if you're doing influencer management, instead of hiring celebrities or so-called people who have lots of Instagram followers, what I found to work better is genuine before-after cases. So in Singapore, for example, you can Google this. I go to a gym called Ultimate Performance. The only ads or influencer marketing that they do, that is done by their real customers. And the only message that comes is before-after. Before, how much weight someone has lost, right? In fact, in India, you can check out this startup called Fittr, F-I-T-T-R. They have been doing something similar. It's a Pune-based startup. They are doing this very, very well. FITTR or FITTR, one of those. So if you're doing influencer marketing, all I will say is don't chase for reach alone, chase for relevant reach. That means just because someone has 1 million followers on Instagram doesn't mean he or she is the right influencer for you. You need to understand who those 1 million followers are. Are they the audience that you want to go after? And also you need to figure out, does that influencer lend itself very well to your brand? So for example, if it's fitness, sure, if I get a Virat Kohli, that will be great, right? But if it's someone who is not into fitness, then there is no relevance or resonance. Then there is no point just because someone has very high volume of followers. So the mantra typically is not just reach, but relevant reach. That is what is important.
All right. That was so enlightening, Prantik, and I thank you so much for giving us so much of knowledge and clearing off the dust between, what is organic and what is, spray and pray. And the way you presented us was so, comprehensive that we could really relate to it. And really want to thank you for giving us so much of time and the knowledge and the experience behind all of it.
No, thank you. Thank you, Vikas ji, and thank you, Ankita ji, for the opportunity, and TiE UP. It's been really wonderful interacting with all of you. And like I said, just feel free to add me on LinkedIn, or I've shared I think Ankita has my email ID. I'll send you the PowerPoint. Feel free to share that. But LinkedIn is a good way of reaching me. So happy to be of help. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.